Do I get to keep this afterwards? You going to send this to me?
Yes, yes.
Okay.
So tell us about yourself. Who are you?
Oh, is this, have we actually started?
Yes.
Okay. My name is Robert Hayes. I'm an associate professor of nuclear engineering at North Carolina State University, the first academic nuclear engineering institution on the planet, so it's really cool. We also had the first research reactor. We actually have a different one now, but that's really cool too. And I do a lot of outreach. I talk about radiological risk. The reason why is because that's my specialty. I teach and do research in radiation safety and radiological protection. I actually spent about 15 years in industry before I came over to NC State. And there I did geological disposal of radioactive waste, specifically transuranic waste, plutonium, at the Waste Isolation Pilot Plant. It's licensed by the EPA in southeast New Mexico. And I also did radiological emergency response. I did that. I'm actually here in Las Vegas right now for an ANS conference, and just to present some research. But I actually used to work here. This studio right now is on Losee Road, and that's where the headquarters is for the National Nuclear Security Administration, who was the government goes with the management and operating contractor, but the government that contracted us, the entity, the Department of Energy, they're just down the road here. And I worked for them doing radiological emergency response on the Nuclear Emergency Support Teams, or NEST. And it was my old team that got sent to Fukushima when that happened. But when I switched over to academia, what ended up happening is that I put together a new program, a couple of new programs. Right now, we offer health physics as an undergraduate minor in our nuclear engineering department and as a graduate certificate. You can actually get it online. Our online master's degree has been ranked #1 for like 6 years in a row for nuclear engineering. It's a really great program. But part of that, you can get this graduate certificate in health physics. And health physics is just radiation protection, radiological safety. So that's really my specialty. I do a lot of research in that, in nonproliferation and nuclear forensics, epidemiology, radiological risk stuff, radiological air monitoring, shielding, all those kinds of things. And so it's just a really exciting topic, and it's really great to be bringing that to NC State. And let me throw you a few anecdotes that are a little funny because we're here in Las Vegas. You can't see that from the background, but just outside you can see downtown Las Vegas. But the slot machines. Now I know when I actually used to live here because I worked out at the former Nevada test site. That's the same management and operating contractor. You could play a slot machine for about a half hour if you got a roll of nickels. A $2 roll of nickels you can play for about a half hour, and that's because the slot machines tend to pay back about 90–95% on whatever you put in there. So no matter how big you earn on a payout, if you keep paying long enough, there's a statistical thing called the law of large numbers. What that means is if you keep doing it long enough, eventually you'll only get that, whatever that return is, 90 cents on every dollar or something like that. And that's a statistical thing. And the reason why I bring that up is because something that's particularly unique to health physics in terms of statistics is low dose radiation. And when it comes to low dose radiation, something that's interesting there is that unless it's a really, really high dose, something on the order of about like 10 rem, there are no measurable medical effects. And this is something that's been studied even before the atomic bomb survivors. But the atomic bomb survivors, there's about 100,000 of them that got various amounts of radiation. And we know what those effects are. We've been looking at it for decades, many, many decades. And there's only one journal paper that says that you can see it at 10 rem. The rest have it at about 20 rem. And the reason why that's significant is that even at 10 rem, you're only getting a small fraction of a % increase over your cancer incidence, if that journal paper is correct. And the natural incidence, if you live long enough as a United States citizen, is about 40%. And so 10 rem, it's a massive dose. It's 1,000 times larger than the EPA limit for offsite releases for airborne radioactivity. 1,000 times bigger than the regulatory limit. And so it's not good if you bust the regulatory limit. It's literally breaking the law. It's like doing 56 and a 55.
Sorry, I'm going to have to interrupt you on this. It was a quick, just...
You failed.
Yes, and you were on a roll, but what do you want to gain from today's media training exercise?
I want to teach somebody scientific facts.
Okay, just like the general audience,